Hi, Macy from Big Happy Love. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to this channel. I've put together a lot of amazing information to support you on your path to love. So if you're a single woman and you're tired of collecting mediocre relationships, or what I like to call bargain brand relationships, and you're longing to have that person that adores everything about you, you're in the right place. So I will be sharing with you yoga, meditations, teachings, and interviews with some great experts on body image, self-love, and creating your special love vibe so that you can take a step towards love. So I really hope you enjoy this video. Satnam.
And if I ride my bike, it's to get from A to B, yeah. Not a challenge physically.
Hi, welcome. This is Macy from Big Happy Love, and today we are welcoming Christina Hildebrandt, and she has some amazing skills with sound. And I was so excited when we met at Wake Up in the Park, and we were talking about the sound of your crystal bowls, and you completely piqued my curiosity about this idea that we as individuals have a tone, or a signature tone, you said. So I would love to hear more about that, because in terms of my work with women getting into relationships, I'm really wondering how this relates to them.
So it's based on the work of Sherry Edwards, who is a woman who lives in Ohio. She has started the organization called, Bioacoustics, or at least the concept of bioacoustics, which analyzes the human voice as a representation of the frequencies in the body. So your voice, Macy, represents the balance or imbalance in your body. Just as my voice is a representation, like a hologram, if you want to get Star Trek-y about it, of the state of your body. So Sherry Edwards grew up being able to hear sounds coming from people. Red peppers, trees, roses. She thought everybody could do that.
Wow.
Until she got married and her husband said, "What are you talking about?" So the sound that she heard as she lived on the planet and discovered kind of her talent was what she calls the signature sound of every person.
Wow, that's so amazing. So if our bodies are changing, or we're in sickness or health, does that mean that our voice actually sounds different?
Yes, it does.
Or has a different vibration?
Yeah.
Wow.
And you can hear that in people's voices. For example, there was a nice man, former neighbor, who died of cancer years ago. And I remember hearing him speak in a neighborhood meeting, just listening to him to speak. When he spoke about something that was not cancer related, his voice was kind of normal, like this. "Well, I was walking my dog the other day," whatever. And then he started talking about his cancer. And he got this kind of vocal fry, is what it's called.
Right.
And his body posture changed to this kind of imploded thing.
That's so fascinating.
It was fascinating to me. So it's interesting to notice
Right.
how we present ourselves, at the very least. As when you're looking for a relationship, or putting yourself out there, to just be quietly observant of how your voice sounds. So if you are speaking to a fella, let's say, and you're having a conversation, and you're kind of speaking like this, and the ends of your phrases go up, and you say, "Hi, my name is Christina." You're asking for some kind of recognition, some kind of approval.
Right.
And it's
I
just
can totally
inherent
see that.
in your voice.
Yep.
Whereas if your voice goes down and says, "Hi, my name is Christina, and I live in Longmont. Here I am speaking to Macy, but I'm not speaking to Macy." You know what I mean?
Yes, it's so different.
So there's that too, just the intonation patterns. But then there's the whole idea of if our voices contain the frequencies of our bodies, then whenever we speak to somebody, they are picking up on who we are on a vibrational level.
Right. Yep.
You don't have to be a scientist, an acoustic engineer, to pick up how someone is presenting themselves, but also just kind of who they are intrinsically on an energetic vibrational level, because it's all in your voice, theoretically, according to Sherry's work. And just if you think about your personal interactions with people, do you think that that is true? Can you think of a time where you walked into a room, you heard somebody speaking, and you thought, ew, or you thought, wow.
Right. Right. And I'm really curious if it works the other way too, because like a lot of the work you do and with sound coming to us, like what if we work with our voice? Can we heal our body?
This is a great question. I think that the answer is yes. And the reason I think that is because I don't think it's a one-way street. If it is true that our voices are a representation of the health of our bodies, then it really must be true to go the other way.
Yeah.
That when working with your voice, you can change or entrain the frequencies of your body.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm glad you actually brought that up, because it makes me think of how my voice is.
Right. Well, I mean, and you said that when you're saying, you know, if you're aware of how your voice sounds, or are you aware of how other people's voices kind of impact us, and then just sound in general, how it impacts us.
Yeah.
It's really a powerful thing. And I think about it in terms of emotion, because in the work that I do, it's really about how do we connect to self-love. So, but when you're feeling that self-love, that's a vibration. So that's a higher vibration. So then it comes through our voice.
Yeah. Yeah, and what is the sound of self-love? It sounds kind of zen.
I love that.
But for you, when you are feeling or wanting to cultivate self-love for yourself, I'm a very sound-oriented person, so this is how I approach things. What is the sound of Macy's self-love? And I'm asking this.
I know.
Is it a high tone? Ooh. Is it a low tone? Ooh. Oh. You know, what vowel is it? Today. And it might change from day to day. So, and I think that self-love frequency, because all sound is frequency, it's related to your signature sound, which is kind of the overall, I think there's a signature sound that we're born with that's probably related to past life information, why we're on the planet, I don't know. But might as well think big.
Yeah,
and expansive. So who you are as a human being on this planet right now is your signature sound. And so then our signature sounds then can get bombarded with traffic and train noises and industry noises.
Right.
Fill in the blank. There's so many influences in our environment that are not necessarily healthy. Right. So how can we get back to that original, primordial signature sound of Macy? You know, right there.
That's such a good question. So how do we do that? Is
do
there
that?
like a simple process or things that we can do to explore that and identify it?
I think so. How can we do it? It's called permission.
Okay.
So big.
Okay.
That's the first step. If you're scared and you say, oh, I couldn't possibly make a sound, which some of us are like that. I'm an extrovert. I'm out there. I'm kind of a performer anyway. right?
Right. Okay.
So for me, it's not an issue. But for some people it is. So to give yourself that permission to quietly tune in and say, I'm going to just sing or grunt or whatever,
Yeah.
whatever comes out of my
Create
mouth.
sound, right? So
So-
you would just notice it in your body
Yeah.
in a way that feels good.
Yeah. And it could be just this kind of real subtle, I don't know, that kind of feels better than the other one, you know? Or it might be a real strong feeling of, oh, there's a relaxation that happens with this sound. And you feel a kind of tingling and goosebump on situation on your body, then you know that you've
Yeah.
hit the right one for today.
For today. That's
For
a good
today.
point. Yes.
Because you're going to be in different situations. You're going to be vibrating differently. The way I look at it is we have this core vibration symphony, if you will, of us, of me. I have a core symphony. And then on any given day, I'm having a fight with my husband, or I just stubbed my toe, or the chickens got out, or whatever, that caused stress, then I think that kind of knocks our frequencies out of whack
Yeah.
a little bit.
Uh-huh.
And so the more we come back to that wonderful usness, me-ness, then it can help. It's like practice. It's like using your muscles.
Right.
They get bigger as you practice, whereas same idea, your comfort level with knowing who you are on a sonic level, a vibrational level, it becomes easier.
Right. And so once we find that tone, is it just a matter of just using that sound and repeating that sound, or just allowing it to replay in our head?
All of that stuff. So the way I use it is in the car.
Yes. The car is a really good place.
It is good because it's enclosed. I'm driving from point A to point B, and maybe my mind is going, and I need to calm it down. I need to say, remember who you are. So first you give yourself permission.
Right.
Then there's an actual technique you can use, which is I call sirening. You know, a siren goes woo, 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 if you're in England, or goes woo, woo, if you're in the United States. So sirening is running through some notes and then running back down like a scale. You could even do a scale. So here's an example.
Yeah, I've done that before for voice warm-up
Yeah.
stuff.
It is
So
a-
then in doing a siren, you probably can kind of detect where you feel like that yumminess.
The yumminess for me happened in the middle somewhere.
Okay.
So I started out.
Okay, cool.
I feel that right here. So then the other thing is, where do you feel it? Oh, you find the yummy spot, and then if you want to tune into where it's yummy in your body, what it connects with, go for it, because maybe that's what you need help with in the moment.
Right.
So for some reason I felt that right here, kind of like a line going through my head, and it felt good. And that's all you need to know.
That's great.
You don't need to know this is affecting my gastrocnemius muscle, or my clavicle, or whatever, or my vitamin C.
Right.
You don't need to know.
No matter what, I mean, if you find that tone that feels like in that yummy space, you are raising your vibration, or you're at least on your signature tone, which in my language means that, people out there who you might be interested in dating, like, people can find you because people can see you, who you are, and really connect to you in an authentic way.
Yeah, and just the fact that you're spending time and concentration and psychic vibration on this idea of I love myself, I need to support myself, here's a way I'm going to do it, here's a tool I'm going to use, that sends out a vibrational message to other people. Have you ever noticed how your thoughts can be in the future and you're literally outside your body, somewhere out here.
Yeah.
I was just doing that this morning, and I thought, why
Right.
am I doing that? So for me, the sound can help bring me back
Right.
to right here.
So like, woof.
You can also be a little bit back there. My thoughts tend to be in the future. But there are people who project themselves
Like
into
get
the
stuck
past.
in the past.
Stuck
Yeah.
in the past. So imagine meeting someone, and you probably have. You meet someone on the street or at a party or whatever, a function, and that person is just right here. And maybe it's a little uncomfortable because maybe you're way back here and you think, I can't relate to that. But but you want to relate to a person who is a lover of self and who is self-contained in a good way. When you're searching outside yourself for answers, you're always going to be disappointed.
Right.
Because we have all the answers right here. So sound is a powerful way to bring ourselves back. And you can make it loud too. Here, we're in a park, so I can do this. So I'll just say, when I was in the Peace Corps in Gabon, which is in Africa, the people there, they make a noise that's, it's an expression of surprise, usually, and it sounds like this. Ah! It's just very loud.
Yeah.
So you might say, Christina, I've decided to go to Botswana and start a clinic for single, unwed mothers. I'll say, you're kidding.
Oh, that's cool.
So, be loud if you want to. And, do it in the shower where it's very reverberant.
Shower, car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about the permission piece. It's like, it's not that you have to be in front of a giant audience or anything. We have your space. It's just being within your
It's being with yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, I would not, well, maybe I would. Because I'm a performer extrovert, I would probably do this in front of an auditorium of people.
Right.
But that's not the point.
Right.
The point is, who am I right now? How am I feeling? How can I support myself? How can I become or remember who I am on a vibrational level more and more and more?
That's really amazing. I love how many levels you help people. I mean, with your healing and actually even with entertainment, like the sound you make with the bowls and with your harp. Just so magical and transporting, which is kind of an interesting thing in itself. Like, sound can bring us to our center, but it also can really kind of free us in different ways.
Yeah.
I love that.
It is cool.
So will you share, because I know you have so many offerings, how people can reach out to you, specifically people who are local Colorado people who may need a healing or coaching or teaching or whatever you do?
Okay. Well, I've been doing massage therapy for about 22 years, going on 23. And in those years, I finally figured out kind of who I am, which I'm glad to report. So I eschew the things that do not speak to me. And what does speak to me is working one-on-one with people. I don't call myself a coach. That's kind of, I do a little of that, but it's mostly body work, one-on-one. Things come up, information is flowing. Sometimes, depending on how open the person is, if they're open, we can really rock and roll. We can both get information from whatever source it's coming from. That could be a sound. It could be, like I say to myself, oh, I hear a note. What is that? And I check out my singing bowls and I say, oh, that's like a G. So then I ring my G to help that person's body. Their body is asking for a G. Or I might make that tone myself. All with the idea of giving the body what it's asking for.
Right.
You can say raising the vibration. I don't know if that's what we're doing. We're giving the body what it is asking for. And so within any one session, I can provide singing bowls. The harp, at this point, I'm not incorporating in my sessions, although I could. It's mostly vocal sound, singing bowl sound. The client can add their sound too, which is pretty powerful. And integrating that with bodywork. I also, so just plain old massage. I also do visceral manipulation, which is listening to the body, listening to the fascial layers of the body. There's a web of connective tissue in everybody that's holding you up.
Right.
We think of the bone as holding us up, but it's really, lots of systems doing it, including the fascial layers.
When you work with people, generally, what are they coming in to work on? Is it pain? Is it emotional stuff? Are there specific areas of emotional trauma?
It's all that.
So it's trauma, pain.
Yeah, I
All
mean,
of it.
people
Okay.
will come in for a relaxation massage, and their body will tell me something their mouth is not telling me.
Okay.
And I'll say, I'm hearing from your body that it would like this. Is that okay with you? Craniosacral work, visceral manipulation, and I'll explain to them what that is. And then I'll say, is it okay with you if I maybe ring some bowls while we're here?
Yep.
And if they're the type of person who is open to that and for whom that resonates, then they'll come back and we'll do some more of that, and they'll shift gradually. Now, the thing that I practice outside of that healing room, we do the bioacoustic analysis of the voice through computer programs,
Cool.
which flag the cattywampus frequencies that the body is trying to heal. And then I program a little tone box that the person listens to at home.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So sound healing to go.
To go. Yeah. And the idea is you take what the body's asking for, you program it into a box, which produces really low tones because that's what your brain speaks.
Okay. So if people want to get in touch with you, how do they get in touch with you?
Well, they can call me,
Okay.
they can email me, they can look on my website, which is www.soundheals.massagetherapy.com.
Okay. Body work, sound healing, all sorts of stuff can be worked on in this way, which is amazing.
And it's all just vibrational. That's who I am. My original kind of boiled down reason that I'm doing this work is, who are you? I don't need to know who you are, but I want you to know who you are.
Yes, me too. I love that. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you,
This is
Macy.
so important to share. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for
Bye-bye.
joining us in the Rose Garden.